Chapter 9. Husband. The crease of his neck deepens as he turns to look into her face. How are you this morning? Everything's fine. Today. She can't remember the last time she wanted to die. Each day he asks her this question. On bad days he's asking throughout the day. It's been years now. This is his reality. The sound of his mother-in-law snoring is loud over the sound of his wife's nod. This sound of snoring has been the soundtrack of his marriage in every country they have lived in. He cares for everyone, no matter their connection to him. His heart is huge for the world of man, but it beats for his wife alone. If anything ever happened to her. The wife knew that the world would be better without her. Sure, her friends would miss her. They would cry, for a while. And then the planet would tilt up on its axis again and spin around and around and around, as it always has and always will. Her absence meant nothing to it. He looks at her and knows if anything were to happen to her. It's 5 a.m. as he rouses himself from his bed. He's always up at this hour. He's a hard worker and cares for nothing but taking care of his beautiful family. Sometimes the phone rings from friends living across the ocean who call in the middle of their day to laugh and joke with him about the goings-on of their lives. They tell tales of their wives. His friends know they will always have Luke's sympathy. One of the wives is recovering from cervical cancer. Another from depression upon leaving a most beloved African village. One of his friends continues to move to different houses, to different states, imagining that this latest move will be the last and be the place where he can finally make his wife and son happy. I have many friends. He needs them because his blood relations live far away. The distance is not only in the geography, however. His twin sister lives in an asylum for the mentally ill and has kept to herself of late. When things go well for her, she sends the occasional message or post, but on usual days, silence. My twin and I live oceans apart. Luke is married to an American. Luke has been unable to support his sister emotionally and mentally the way he had been able to while they were growing up. Internally, this has been a devastating saga, now stretching more than a decade, the same amount of years Luke has been married. His marriage has never been pointed to as a marker for the illness. No one has ever said that Luke's sister had been replaced by Luke's wife. When we were babies and young children, my sister and I always knew what the other was thinking and feeling most of the time. When Luke married, there had been a feeling of silent, open hostility toward the new wife by Luke's sister, but time healed all misunderstandings, we hope, and life must go on. Because it always has. The beginnings of talk about a transfer from inpatient to the outpatient ward made the family happy. But Luke's world was far removed from the world of his family these days. It had actually been years since news and updates stirred any real emotions in him. Luke loves his wife. He's a great husband. I was a young husband. He married at 20 and has always tried to make his wife happy. She never seems to be happy. Why would someone want to end their life? Luke has been nothing but loving and kind for almost the entirety of the marriage. In the first few years, Luke had tried the macho man act, to throw his weight around when his wife didn't agree with his decisions in the beginning. He soon saw that this was not a way to run a happy home with this specific marriage mate. His wife was fragile at the core, and she was often confused by reality. She was living in a foreign country alone and had met Luke through friends. She and Luke were fast friends, and it wasn't long before they found that they actually loved each other. The families agreed, and they were married. It's a simple tale. Boy meets girl. Girl needs surgery. Girl marries boy. Girl almost dies during surgery 2 months after the wedding. Girl's mother comes to help out in their 1-bedroom apartment for 3 months. Girl can't have children. Fortunately, boy and girl had decided on their own before they married that they would not bring children into this world with the state that it is presently in. They would wait until everything was perfect, a perfect world, just like everyone wants. The end. Luke never really spoke about the babies that weren't there these days except to say, "Our babies will be beautiful when we have them, just like their mother." This would be in response to a family passing by as they sat eating ice cream outside. Just the two of them. Or as a mother carrying a newborn baby at the mall went walking by them. His wife never mentioned the children that weren't there. Relocation was also a part of Luke's life. His wife insisted on moving to Tokyo to experience the Asian continent. That lasted about 4 years until Luke's mother-in-law came to live with them again. They soon found that it would be too much to continue to live on their salaries and take care of an aging parent in a foreign country. They moved back to America and decided to open their hearts to adoption. There was a baby girl with special needs who needed an adoptive home, and they decided to take this baby and pour their lives and love into her. What better way to fill in a life than with another life when yours felt a bit empty at times? Their focus would be on the baby and not on each other for once. Perhaps that was the wife's big crisis. They would be a happy family in this new house with their new baby in this new town. Luke looks out the window at the neighbor's yard and wonders why some people are such lowlives. There are all kinds of animals and pets around, and kids run around half naked all times of the day and night. And that infernal yelling and screaming. Luke wondered if he should call the police, but decided someone else in the neighborhood could do it. I have enough drama in my life at the moment. The drama of the new baby and his own wife's constant crying is enough for any one man. He works from home, so that is the last thing he needs. More activity and visits and inquiry from the Department of Child Safety. Luke and his wife have just completed the arduous questionings and paperwork. It's not easy. Luke looks out of his office window again and wonders how to remove bird poo off his car the natural way. He also wonders where the string came from and how the cat will find a way to free itself from out of its tangle. He likes that cat though.